Own the Road with Kelli and Bob, the USA 250 Tour, celebrating America.
We, the people of the United States of America.
Hi, and welcome to this episode of On the Road with Kelli and Bob, the USA 250 Tour. I'm Kelli Phillips.
And I'm Bob Phillips. 250 years of history, culture, and unforgettable landscapes. We are officially halfway through our epic USA 250 Tour. Now, we've already seen some incredible things, but the second half of our journey is about to take us even deeper into the fabric of America. Over the next 6 months, we are diving into the places and stories that shaped our past and are launching us into the future. Today on this special episode, we're giving you a sneak peek at the highlights of the road ahead.
Our first major highlight of the next 6 months takes us to Huntsville, Alabama, better known as Rocket City, USA. We're heading inside the U.S. Space and Rocket Center to stand underneath the massive Saturn V rocket.
This is the town where slide rule math met limitless imagination, and we'll be exploring the stories of the engineers who literally propelled humanity to the moon.
Ed Stewart, the curator of the Space Rocket Center, tells us how Huntsville, Alabama got its nickname.
Huntsville's called the Rocket City because we make rockets. We design them. To a certain extent, we test things. Maybe not so much as we did before, where we don't break windows anymore. But Huntsville as the Rocket City came out of the fact that we still do missile defense here in town. And we still do civilian rocketry for satellite launching and human space exploration. So I don't think you get to be more Rocket City than where you design them and then go out into the rest of the country. Rockets that are designed here in Huntsville and built actually at the ULA plant just outside of Huntsville, they launch from California, they launch from Alaska, they launch from Virginia, they launch from Florida. So we have connections to launches that happen all over the country, and people probably don't realize that when they see a launch, and even with companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin, their rocketry programs are still based off of the research and development that happened here in Huntsville in the 50s and the 60s, the 70s and the 80s and the 90s and through today.
From the cutting edge of space exploration, we're pivoting now to a deeply rooted living history in the low country of South Carolina.
We'll be spending time with the Gullah Geechee community, retaining profound African roots through their unique language, vibrant cuisine, and intricate sweetgrass basket weaving. This community offers an incredible look at resilience and cultural preservation.
The Gullah Geechee are the descendants of the enslaved Africans that were brought to the southeastern coast of the United States to work the rice, the indigo, Sea Island cotton plantations. When the English came to settle South Carolina, one of the things they saw, pluff mud soil in this big, huge, marshy area is perfect for growing rice.
Next up, a place in Pueblo, Colorado, designated as the home of heroes. We'll be visiting the Medal of Honor displays to bring you the stories of ordinary citizens who displayed extraordinary valor under fire.
It's a humbling stop that gets straight to the heart of American courage.
It's not just about the Medal of Honor. In a lot of our videos, you'll hear them say, hey, Medal of Honor is one segment of our society that've done things, laid their life on the line. But there's also, doctors, nurses, first responders, firemen, police that lay their life on the line.
A lot of heroes.
A lot of heroes. And there's everyday heroes too,
Yeah.
So we're quick to point out that, because we'll just use the portraits of valor as an example of someone who made extreme sacrifice to ensure that those actions are preserved forever, that people understand why they stood the line for American values, and our core values are honor, integrity, patriotism, and that's what we teach.
And of course, there will be lots of other stops as we make our way around all 50 states for our USA 250 tour, from totem poles in Alaska to a Route 66 landmark in Arizona.
When you were growing up, were you aware of where you came from, who your ancestors were, what your clan was? Was that something that was taught to you as a child?
I was, but I was very fortunate that my mother made the effort, despite, a lot like people in her generation, a lot of the culture was lost, and the generation before her had been taken away. So it went underground. It wasn't available, and not everyone. It wasn't taught in schools. There were no resources to document or teach our history, our culture, our clans.
Route 66 brings people together, but they're all very different. So the Route 66 that you see in Oklahoma, the Route 66 you see in Illinois, the Route 66 in California and Arizona, the people come from different backgrounds. They have different, it's a different aesthetic, but it's all Route 66. And I think that's a real microcosm of what America is.
And also from lowriders in New Mexico to the sacred grounds at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, to the story of Coca-Cola as told by a guy in Cedartown, Georgia.
It was an early passion of mine when I was younger to collect all this memorabilia from Coca-Cola, and also to save this property, which we were fortunate to be able to do about 10 years ago. And it's been, a lot of fun. I still do it and enjoy it today.
If you look at the post behind that, there's one post for every single life lost on the USS Oklahoma, 429 total. And this goes into a piece of U.S. Navy tradition. When a naval ship will come in and out of home port, the members of the crew will dress in their dress whites and stand to post. So stand the rails of the ship in honor of those that are supporting them and the sacrifices that are made to help to support them.
The hook there for me culturally involved art. The cars that we were looking at and the tradition that we were looking at do with its intersection with religious art and ideas of Spanish colonial art and murals, because many of these cars had imagery that came out of the church, or that were more sort of contemporary interpretations of church figures and such. That to me was a very interesting intersection between this deep tradition of devotional art in New Mexico that was mostly, painted wood, sculptures and paintings that were made for churches or personal home altars, and then suddenly evolving into this imagery on the side of a modern canvas, if you will, and a mobile canvas, which is the lowrider. Of course, lowrider traditions in different areas emphasize different things.
And we will even visit a place called Santa Claus, Indiana, where a woman told us her father was Santa Claus.
What was your life like as a little kid growing up?
It was normal until, my father, after a while I started realizing my dad was Santa Claus. And my friends in grade school, that's your dad, isn't it?
And folks, that's just a taste of what's coming up on the second half of our USA 250 tour. The next 6 months are going to be an unforgettable ride, and we want you with us for every single mile. All right, Kelly, looking at that map right now, at all the travel we still have planned, my feet hurt just thinking about it. But I am incredibly pumped.
Your feet hurt because you insisted on walking the entire length of that Iowa truck stop in cowboy boots. But seriously, Looking at this itinerary for the second half, it is wild. I mean, we're transitioning from the space age to the Gilded Age and everything in between.
It really hits you how massive and diverse this country is when you look at it through the lens of our USA 250 tour. I mean, one week we're going to be looking at a massive Saturn V rocket in Huntsville. Just a few weeks later, we'll be going to sit down with the Gullah Geechee community in South Carolina. And Kelly, to me, that is beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. And out of all of the upcoming highlights, the Gullah Geechee stop is the one I think I'm most anticipating. I mean, the sheer resilience required to keep the language, the sweetgrass weaving, and the culture completely alive and distinct for centuries. That's the real heartbeat of American history.
Oh, absolutely. It's living history is what it is. It's not just looking at artifacts behind glass, though. Speaking of glass and cool artifacts, I'm a total sucker for the stories behind things. That's why I can't wait for our trip to Oxford, Mississippi.
Let me guess. William Faulkner?
Yeah, of course. Roanoke. I mean, okay, this guy literally wrote the outline of his Pulitzer Prize-winning novel on his bedroom wall in graphite and grease pencil because he ran out of paper. Or maybe he just wanted it staring him in the face. I don't know.
Didn't they actually varnish over the walls later just to preserve his handwriting?
They did, and it's still there. If I tried writing on our bedroom walls, you'd evict me. But when Faulkner does it, it becomes a National Historic Landmark.
Exactly. So don't get any ideas for our little van either. Another stop that's going to be incredibly moving is the Medal of Honor displays in Pueblo, Colorado.
Yeah, Pueblo, folks, is known as the home of heroes for a reason. And the place we're going to be visiting is called the Center for American Values. That alone is intriguing.
Pueblo is a relatively small city, but it has produced 4 Medal of Honor recipients. Standing in a place like that, I think it's just going to give us all a moment to pause and reflect on what valor actually means. It's going to be a heavy stop, but a really necessary one for a tour like the USA 250.
It grounds the whole trip because for all the glitz and glamour we're going to see like in Asheville, North Carolina with the Gilded Age mansions, the tour always comes back to the people, the visionaries, the heroes, the creators.
Speaking of Asheville, are you going to dress up for the Gilded Age segment? Because I feel like you'd look great in a 19th century top hat and a monocle.
No? Are you kidding me?
Okay, no top hat, no monocle.
No, but seriously, guys, we are halfway through this incredible milestone tour. 250 years of America, 50 states, and we're just scratching the surface. To everyone who has listened to the podcast, watched the YouTube segments, flagged us down on the highway, or even suggested a local diner, thank you. You are the reason we are doing this.
We literally couldn't do it without you. So do us a favor. Go to our YouTube page and subscribe. Like us and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. You don't want to miss a single stop of the rest of our adventures on the USA 250 tour. We'd also love to get an email from you, so drop us a line on the road with kellyandbob.com.
All right, folks, the van's gassed up, the cameras and recorders are all charged up, and the road is calling. We will see you next week as we kick off the second half of our USA 250 tour.
On the road with Kelly and Bob. Be sure and tell your friends you can follow us wherever you get your podcast, or the best thing to do, download that free Odyssey app. Listen anytime, anywhere.